Unscripted.
Unscripted.
It's cuter when our kids say it.
Much cuter.
Uh-huh.
We're still cute though, too, right? I feel like we're still cute.
He's even wearing my crew neck, my sweatshirt. I don't have anything.
It says
reading attire on.
It's a good day to read.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's always a good day to read.
What day isn't a good day to read?
The back says, read.
Read. I'm drinking. This is water on the rocks. If you want like a nice refreshing cocktail, water on the
Mindy.
rocks. Hey, Mindy.
This is water with a twist. Prickly pear sparkling water. It's quite tasty.
Did you see the new one I got? It's like a.
I did see that.
It's like a tangerine lemongrass. Carly, Maria,
hey.
Sally. Wow.
How's it going,
Good evening
everybody?
to everyone. How's everyone doing on this fine Julianne? Happy Monday.
This fine Monday and last day of March.
I know.
It is the last day of March. Hey, Mandy.
No joke. Tomorrow.
How are you liking Sunrise on the Reaping? I think you're still currently reading it. That's part of my reading wrap up that we're going to talk about.
Oh, it's
tonight.
good.
Yep.
It's a good day.
All right. Is that what we're going to talk about first?
No, we got to jump into our featured book of the week.
That's right. Let's do our featured book
You
first.
can't forget about the featured
Just
book
kidding.
of the week.
So excited to talk about what I read in March, though. But we'll get there.
Mindy said she liked Sunrise and the Reaping.
Yeah, it's so good.
Literally just starting Hunger Games.
Yeah, I took off the dust jacket on here, but I'm hoping to stay up tonight after we're done and finish the first book.
I saw it sitting on the counter and I was all confused.
You were confused. I took the dust jacket off. That's actually something I wanted to bring up too, and yes, we will get to the featured book, but let me know how you feel about dust jackets. Do you keep yours on when you are reading them? If you read hardcover, do you sometimes take them off? Like the games in Sunrise and
the games.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. The games get quite.
Yeah, you're saying they're a little more, I don't know, what's the word?
Graphic?
More graphic?
Violent? Oh, and on Sunrise on the Reaping? Well, yeah, there were a couple incidents that I was like, ooh, yikes.
Liz says she takes them off.
You're one of the only ones not reading it? No, I'm sure there are plenty.
I've not read it yet.
Who are not yet or don't plan
Sally
to
said
all,
Catching Fire was the best.
Oh, you leave the dust jackets on, Mandy. Sometimes they start to bother me. I don't know. Like while I was reading it last night, it was like sliding down on me, and it was just annoying. So I took it off. Yeah. And it's actually kind of a cool cover without it. Like not all covers have something like that, but I don't know.
I leave them on.
Yeah. But most of the time I do leave them on.
But we should start taking them off for aardvark so you can feel the...
Man, their books are
If you're reading an aardvark book, you should take it off and caress the binding a little bit.
Yeah, totally. Just got... you take the dust jackets off. Okay. And you got Sunrise on the Reaping today.
You just got it. Excellent.
Exciting. Happy reading.
Good pickup there.
All right. I know that was actually our featured book for last week, and we're still talking about it.
We can't feature...
So what book... So let's just do that one again. Everybody wants to talk about it.
Can I have a drum roll?
Oh, sure. I don't know. Is it deserving of
drum roll, please. Featured book of the week is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. So who's read this book before? Has anyone read it?
I'm not laughing about the book, but has anyone watched Ted Lasso? Because I will always just think of Jamie, isn't his last name Tart?
Jamie Tart, yeah.
On that show.
Mindy says on her TBR.
So anyway, I just all of a sudden thought of it, and you
Donna
won't know what I'm
Tart,
you won't know what I'm talking about if you don't watch that show. But sorry. Okay.
Let's move on.
All right. As you were.
Yeah. So actually, it's kind of funny. I used to have a different copy of this book. And we were out shopping at a thrift store, and we found this copy, which is pretty.
It's in much better shape than the other one that we had grabbed.
We got it for only $1. So, ear infection. Oh, sorry to hear that.
I don't have an ear infection, but I haven't read it all today either. So I'm actually feeling kind of sad about that as well. I'm gonna get to some reading when we're done here.
Yeah, we were just discussing.
You can get back to your reading soon.
We were just discussing how we should have drank some energy drinks.
I know, because I actually really want to finish this before the month is over. We'll see if I can do it.
All right, so The Goldfinch, what do you think? Are you going to read it?
It's not high on my TBR.
Yeah, it is a big
I mean,
book.
I might read it eventually.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd read the other one that we have.
The Secret
first
History.
Over that. Yeah, the Secret
so it's
History.
over 750 pages. It's a big book, and this is a big copy. It's a really nice book, though. I'm a fan. We have this one displayed
We got it for
on one of our end
really,
caps.
I don't remember, how much did we get it for?
I think $1.
At a thrift store?
I think
Yeah,
we
it
got
was
it for
a really
$1.
good score.
So that was a score. So this is a very popular book. I'm not actively reading it, but I started Secret History like months ago.
Yeah, and you haven't picked it up in a
And
long
it's
time.
just been sitting on my nightstand. And, I was liking it when I was reading it. But
It's slow, though. And I bet this one will
yes,
be too, right?
it's one of those books, probably this one as well, that you need to probably focus mainly on it when you're reading it. So you're not jumping back and forth.
See, I have a hard time with that because I like to read multiple books at a time. So anytime there's a book that like requires more focus, I end up putting it off for like ages and ages and ages because I have to be willing to focus primarily on that book, which I don't have it here, but one for me is on the shelf back there that I really want to read, but I feel like I would have to zone in on it, and I have to be willing to do that.
That's hard. It's hard to do.
It's very difficult.
I get it. But yeah, this is one I plan to read someday. I want to finish Secret History someday as well.
You want to get back to that?
Yeah, when I was reading it, I was enjoying it. I thought it was good. It is obviously slower. It's one of those books I can't read when I'm tired.
Right.
But when I was able to lock in on it, it's a pretty interesting story. It's considered dark academia.
Yeah, that's a...
But it's it's a mystery. It's almost a mystery.
Okay. It's like on a college campus, right? Is it like college students?
Correct.
Okay.
So, featured book. If you read it, let us know. I would like some more people to say it's worth reading before I commit to it.
Big commitment.
Most of the things I've heard have been good. The people who have gotten through it, they say they liked this one, and they liked Secret History. They're both good.
Okay.
But
What else has she written?
she has one other book that I've seen that I've been trying to find.
So I don't know if she had like a long backlist or maybe just only...
The Little Friend is the other one that
Friend.
I've seen. So not many.
Okay.
Donna Tart do 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 do.
Is
Donna Tart.
anybody Ted Lasso fan? We still need to make our way through the rest of it. It's like the slowest progress on that show, but it is a funny show.
We've had 2 episodes left for a while.
Yeah, we really have.
All right, so we got to jump quick into the book club. I know a lot of you guys watching are in our virtual book club. If you're not, it's time to join.
Yes.
We do have the Patreon linked in the description. You can join. It's free. We got a chat on there. We kind of pick the books on there.
Yep.
We are currently reading this book here, Death of the Author. We will be meeting on April 27th to discuss this book. We both have now started it. I started it yesterday. Katie started it
a few days ago.
Neither
I'm
of
not
us,
super far in.
we're very early on. My initial thoughts are, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I got to get used to all the characters.
Yes.
But it's really well written. I can tell that already, 100%. And the story is going to be great because it does have some family drama right off the bat.
Yes.
And the main character is super likable, Zilu.
Yeah.
Do you call it? Are you saying Zilu or Zelu?
Zelu.
I've been
That's how I
saying
say
Zelu. I don't know.
But I don't know. Yeah, it's Zelu.
Yeah. See, if you're reading it, join on in. You picked it up today? Oh,
awesome.
Yeah, it is a bigger book, so that's why we started early, because we're meeting on the 27th, so there's still, we still got 4 weeks to read it.
Still a good amount of time.
From what I've already read, it's pretty quick, fast-paced.
Yeah.
Or it reads quick.
They're long chapters, but
they're super long chapters, but
long-ish
it
chapters
reads
in really small print.
I think the pacing is good.
Yeah.
Right off the bat for me. So.
Yeah.
And then we did pick our May book.
Yes. Yep. We voted on that.
We were doing.
I did a mystery
May.
Theme, I guess. So they were all, and so really more, mystery, not thriller. So I feel like this will be, I know those genres can kind of like mesh together sometimes, but I feel like mystery is a little bit more mild. Different. Yeah.
More of a whodunit.
Sometimes slower, whodunit. This one is gonna like be packed with some family drama, I believe, too, which was in her other book that I loved, and they turned that into a TV or a show adaptation as well. I think that was on Apple TV too.
The Last Thing He Told Me. Yeah.
The Last Thing He Told Me. That one was very good. You didn't read the book, but you watched the show with me, and that was really good.
Yeah, the show was cool.
Yeah, so this one's The Night We Lost Him by Laura Dave. So yeah, this will be our May book, and it's not super long. It's much shorter than the one we just showed for April.
Yep.
In this riveting novel from the best-selling author of The Last Thing He Told Me, estranged siblings discover their father has been keeping a secret for more than 50 years, one that may have been fatal. So, yeah, that's good.
Oh, Mandy said she loved that book.
Oh, yeah. This one or the last thing?
Oh, the last
thing you told me.
Yeah.
Which one?
It is a show.
Yeah, and then she has quite a few books, actually. Hello, Sunshine, 800 Grapes, The First Husband, The Divorce Party, and London is the Best City in America.
Who wasn't it? Jennifer Gardner was in the show.
Yeah, Jennifer
She
Garner.
was the.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see what the chapters look like in this one. You always gotta look. I mean, I'm gonna read it no matter what, but
It is nice to just
nice.
be surprised.
yeah.
The nice
Like,
short chapters.
Oh, they're short. But yeah, this looks really good. This has been on both of our TBR, I think, for a little while now.
It was
so it's nice that it got voted on.
It was pretty close. It
Yeah.
came down to the end.
It is on Apple TV, and I also told all of you guys, Mandy, at In-Person Book Club, Mandy on here is part of my In-Person Book Club, to watch Severance as well. I know we're talking about books, but if you are looking for another show recommendation, that is also on Apple TV. So then you could find more
And
than
you can
one
watch
thing
Ted
to watch
Lasso.
on there, and you can watch Ted Lasso. So there you go. There's our little. We do not partner with Apple TV, but there you go.
Just
There's
make it worth it to, if you're
plug
going to
for-
if you're gonna get it.
Funny story about that, and then we will keep going. I signed up for a free trial for it and have never canceled. And the reason I signed up for the free trial originally was so that we could watch Spirited. If anybody's watched that. Yeah, I don't know. Don't if you decide to get it, don't tell your husband it was me who encouraged you to
And
get
we
Apple
watched
TV.
Shrinking on there.
Oh yeah,
is
Shrinking
excellent
is
as
another
well.
great show.
There's a lot of
So
good
it's
stuff.
kind of a good platform to have. So anyway.
Do you want to share what you're doing tomorrow?
Yes, I don't have any of her books to show, but that's okay. I think probably a lot of you know who Abby Jimenez is. If you don't, she is one of my very favorite rom-com authors, and she has a new book releasing tomorrow. So I did not pre-order it. That was another thing. I don't know if we've talked about this before, but sometimes I'm curious, do you pre-order books? I think I've asked this before, and when do you decide to pre-order, or do you just kind of when the feeling arises, if you're going to buy the book anyway and you just decide to pre-order it. But yeah, I think we touched on that sometimes I will if there's an incentive of sorts, if it's going to be signed or you get some fun swag with it. Otherwise, I think it is kind of fun to go on the day that it releases, because it is just fun to go in person. I like to shop for books in person.
And sometimes when you pre-order, you don't get it on the day it's released.
That too. So
that's a big.
We were even just talking about it earlier tonight, that I had the whole thing with Onyx Storm. That was a big thing for a lot of people. I canceled my Amazon pre-order for it, and I don't know, it was just, and then went and just ended up getting it in person at Walmart on the day that it, published. So Abby has a new book coming out tomorrow. Say You'll Remember Me is what it is called. And so I'm going to go and buy it tomorrow. Yeah, it looks so good. I've seen some early reviews come in for it. I mean, honestly, just so her and Emily Henry, they don't write bad books. So I probably already guarantee that I will love it. I don't know in which order it will fall for me with all of her books, but Abby's most recent book, so her last year's release, is still in my #1 spot. So we'll see where this one ranks.
Yeah.
And it was funny because when we came on here for Beer and Books, we were showing our April hopefuls. And when we got done, I was like, well, there's a couple that I didn't show because I don't have them in my possession yet. And those are definitely going to be ones that I'll read right away. So some of the other stuff that I'm currently reading will kind of go to the wayside temporarily when I dive into.
Are you gonna start it tomorrow after you get it?
Oh, I'll be starting it tomorrow.
You will,
oh yeah,
you're gonna
100%.
go and buy it.
I will buy it and probably start
And
reading
then
it sometime
start
tomorrow
it
during the day.
Immediately.
So there are certain books, I did it with this one. There are certain books that, I don't waste any time.
Okay.
So So yeah, if anybody else is excited about that one and you're an Abby Jimenez fan, we can talk about it. And it has such a pretty cover too, which I can't show you, but if you are familiar, I'm sure you've been seeing it around. You want to get it tomorrow too? Do you want to come with me?
There you go.
You can help me not come home with anything else, because that is what I am supposed to. I'm only supposed to be going to the store for that one book.
It's a hardcover, right?
It is a hardcover this time. Normally she does hers in paperback right away, so I don't know why. She decided to change it up, but that's okay. I love hardcovers. They cost more, but they are very nice. we like how they look on our shelves.
They do
for sure.
show
they
a little
are
better.
very nice.
I would say.
But yeah, so that's what I'm doing tomorrow. Mandy, we can go together. I'm gonna have Annalie with me for sure, my little sidekick. But yeah, what are we chatting about next?
We're gonna talk about what we read in the month of March.
Okay.
It's the last day of March.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I read my typical 2 books.
Wait, where you're okay, so we've
She said she'll let you know tomorrow.
Yeah, let me know.
What time are you going?
Right when Barnes & Noble opens.
You're gonna be waiting in line, like
10 o'clock.
like you'll be first in line.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be an issue.
I mean,
there was a whole table full of Sunrise on the Reaping.
It's going to be a mad dash.
We did. I think I went right.
It's
when
like
they
Black
opened, or right
Friday
after.
for Abby. It's like you're pushing all your bookworms away, hitting them with your book bag. I was like, I must get it.
My bag that won't have anything in it yet. I will. Yes, I will message you. Are you gonna show what you?
Well, you better.
What?
You
I
better
have to
show
get
some
into
first.
mine because I have a lot. Okay, so I technically shouldn't show this yet because I have yet to finish it, but I am determined to stay awake and finish The Hunger Games, which I have already read, but this is my first time reading it like in many, many years. So I read it when it first came out. This is my first official reread. I was telling Cory how the pages have like, what do you call that? They yellow, or they kind of get like they're old, because I've had this book for a long
They've
time.
aged.
But I mean, I can still read it. It's not disgusting, but it just,
Did you buy that brand new?
I sure did. And I was noticing that, I mean, and I'm not surprised. I mean, how many years have gone by since this book came out in 2008, by the way. So we're like getting close to 20 years that the original book came out. That book prices have obviously definitely gone up, because I looked inside when I did have the dust jacket on, the flap, to see how much it was. It was $17.99 for a hardcover in 2008. And now hardcovers are like $10 plus. Like I just,
like 28
so
to
this,
30.
this one is $27.99, so $10 more, versus like you get a paperback these days for like $17-18.
That's bookflation.
So yeah,
it's a real deal.
Yep. But yeah, I'm very much enjoying this just as much, if maybe not more, than I did the very first time that I've read it, because of course I've seen the movie so many times, and then reading it right after Sunrise on the Reaping has been a really fun thing. So I highly suggest going back to the OG books.
Are you gonna keep going?
Oh, I for sure am.
Oh, you are?
I have Catching Fire on my April TBR, so
you do.
That's why I want to get this one done so that I'm not carrying it over into April.
Did you show that on our episode?
No, I added it after.
Hardcover in Canada is $40.
Oh my
Carly.
goodness!
Wow.
So we really can't complain. Yikes! Yeah, that's a lot.
Forget what we said, Charlie. That was
Yeah. Well.
We won't mention it again.
Yeah. that is.
How much is a paperback?
Yeah. How much more are those? Well, let's see. If their hardcovers are.
Because their paperbacks are about
$8 to $10 more than ours, then are yours like somewhere in the 20-some range just for paperback? Okay. So yeah, I showed the Hunger Games that I do plan to finish tonight.
That.
I'm determined.
That's your goal.
And then of course, yes, I've already showed this book a lot. Love it, love it, love it. Paperbacks are 25. Yeah, so in the 20s, 20-some range. Do you buy books as much as we do, or maybe not? So maybe we would dial it back a little bit more.
I wait and get down half price or Goodwill.
Yeah, well, that's smart. You exercise patience, whereas I have none.
We like to find cheaper books too,
but no, we do buy used, but
generally older titles.
Yeah, I don't know. There's certain books though that like I don't feel this overwhelming need to own, or I am willing to wait longer. But then there's certain ones that I'm like, I will not wait.
Yeah, there are books that I tell you I'm like, I want it, but I'll
like, oh, I can find it. Yeah,
I hope to find it used somewhere.
Yeah,
at some point, and I'll buy it. But I'm not gonna buy it brand new or like at Barnes and Noble
immediately. Yeah,
I'm like, hopefully I'll find it at a rummage sale. From Book Outlet.
Oh, Book Outlet.
Book Outlet's awesome.
We've done a couple orders from them, and that's a good way to get books for cheaper for sure.
Really good.
But yeah, so this would probably be like one of my favorite reads for sure from March. I mean, yeah, hands down. The other one that I'm thinking of would be Broken Country. I made a little list because I was bringing all of our books down, and I was like, I've read more than what I have right here. And it's because I've done Kindle reading and audiobooks, and then a couple of the books I got from the library and I don't have in my possession anymore.
You don't have them?
Yeah, so I can't show. Broken Country, I know I talked about that one probably on a couple different episodes already. Amazing book. You should have that on your TBR. We never have tried thrift books, actually.
Yeah.
Don't you deliver some boxes on your mail route of people?
Yeah, I know a lot of people order from thrift books, and I think we haven't looked at them in a while.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people order from them because I deliver a lot of packages.
You love Broken Country, Mindy? Yeah, it was so good.
Is that one you hope to find used someday?
That's one that I'm gonna want to buy sooner rather than later, but I will refrain from doing that tomorrow. But it's so hard. Does anybody?
Well, Mindy likes Pango books.
Okay.
Ooh,
thrift books is supposed to be the cheapest.
Maybe we should check them out again.
Okay, yeah, we'll have to check them out.
Pango's cool.
The reminder on that.
There's a lot of good options for book buying.
What I was gonna ask anyone here is, have you ever like regretted? I mean, I don't regret using the library. Let me preface that. But if there was like a book that you really wanted to read and you decided, okay, I'll get it from the library because I've been buying a lot of books lately. I'll just read it from the library. But then you like immediately want to own the copy. That's how I'm feeling about Broken Country, because I'm like, no, I need that book on my shelves. Like, because I will read it again. I really, really, really enjoyed it. And I feel like that's going to be like a top book, honestly, for this year, probably. Yeah. Do it. It's so good. So no, that is probably not one I will wait for an eternity to get used. I will, get it at
Broken Country was added to Book of the Month.
Oh, yes. And I have like canceled Book of the Month. I've paused Book of the Month, and I have now officially cut ties completely.
Cut the cord.
Unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know. I'm debating if I would want the Barnes and Noble edition at some point, because the cover is actually different than the one that people probably see the most. But that was one that I read. And then let's see, I did 3 days in June on audio. I did Jane and Dan at the End of the World, if anybody has heard of that one. I did like a combo of on my Kindle and audiobook. I read The Refugees from the library and The Perfect Divorce. So I guess I should show The Perfect Marriage. Yeah, just buy that one. Just buy that one. You're gonna want to own it. I'm very sad that I don't own it right now. So I did a reread of The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose, because then she has a new book coming out. We are both gonna get a physical copy of The Perfect Divorce at her event. So we're very excited for that in April. So I did read The Perfect Divorce, but read it on my Kindle, so I can't show it yet. I can pretend I'm holding it up right here. It'll look very similar to this one. So yeah, that'll be really cool to have that. And then I read When Women Were Dragons, and that one I got from the library, and that's for my in-person book club. So can't show that one either.
Those are your write-downs?
Those are ones I wrote down just because I didn't want to forget
Those were your write-downs.
Mention, because I don't have all of them to show you. So now you can take a turn.
Okay. Well, one of the books I read at the beginning of the month,
you can't show it either.
We don't have it because we got rid of it.
We kindly put it in a little free library for someone else to hopefully enjoy more than we did.
Which was our last virtual book club book.
She's saying she's maybe going to feel about Broken Country the way she did about All the Colors of the Dark. Because, you ended up really enjoying all the colors, I can't talk, All the Colors of the Dark, right, Sally? Broken Country, I actually liked more. Yeah. It was shorter. Which was very helpful. And I feel
like chapters.
They had like similar vibes, but yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, I cut you off. What were you saying about Small Game?
Yeah, so one of the books I read this month was Small Game. That was for our virtual book club last month. And considering we donated it to a little free library,
That's kind of saying
says
something.
we didn't really like it that much.
Us...
We don't get rid of books often.
No.
I mean, it's very rare that we get rid of books.
Yeah.
So in order to get rid of a book, we have to like.
Seeing as how I didn't even finish it.
Katie did DNF.
It was a DNF for me. So I
finished it.
I didn't need to keep it on my bookshelves. I wasn't gonna like loan it out to anyone or anything. So. Oh
really?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I guess I would compare them. Like they obviously are different stories, but I feel like the writing feels similar. Like just super well written, like totally character driven books. But yeah, I personally loved Broken Country more. I just felt like it was slightly faster paced for me. I loved that it was much shorter.
Yeah.
It's just All the Colors of the Dark intimidated me, and it never made me want to pick it up, unfortunately, even though the chapters were so dang short. But the book itself was like monstrous.
It's a big book.
And it was one that I felt, you can't wait to read it, that I felt required a lot of focus. And it was one of those where I was kind of refusing to do that. But then when I got back into it, I paused, I got back into it, and then I did focus more on it, and I enjoyed it a lot more.
You took a break.
When I did that.
So
but I had to take a break.
It was sitting on our table for a while.
Time.
It was just sitting there.
Chilling.
Just waiting.
But I did make it through, and I did enjoy it.
It was just sitting there waiting.
But anyway, so yeah, Small Game. We didn't really care for it all that much. Neither did a lot of our book club, unfortunately. And it's a local author. Yeah. So it was like fun to support a local author. And we did buy that one brand new at an indie bookstore. So a little bit sad to not have enjoyed it.
We gave it to someone else to
passed
enjoy.
It along. Hopefully someone else will like it more.
Yeah. So you'll rarely see us get rid of any books because we love collecting books.
We just like to have them.
Even after
if
we
they
read
weren't
them.
5-star reads, you know.
Obviously, we're collectors. So to get rid of a book is pretty rare.
Yes.
We have to really not like it, or I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very rare.
Because it's not like I keep books thinking that I will reread all of them. I'm not a big rereader, you know?
Correct.
So then I feel like people do wonder, like, well, then why keep it? And I'm like, because we like to have them. It's like any kind of collection. If people like to collect things.
It's a memory.
And for us, it's like
a trophy.
Books are also decor. I feel like they just look really nice. And I also like to lend my books out.
Yes.
So I know not everyone does that. It was very sweet. Somebody from our church saw me share about Sunrise on the Reaping in my stories. And she messaged and was like, can I borrow that when you're done? And she's like, I mean, only if you lend books out. She's like, I understand if you don't. And I wanted to be snarky and be like, if you get it back to me, like by such and such a time, then you can borrow it.
Did you stamp it yet?
I don't know that I've even stamped it yet, so I definitely need to do that.
We have a stamp.
I have a stamp, like where.
So people know it's from Katie's library.
There's probably one in here. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I have like 2 different ones.
You gotta make sure.
You gotta stamp it so that, you know, people know where to return it.
Maybe you should put a little due
do
date.
Buy, just like you would at the library. It's like.
And then our library doesn't charge late fees.
I trust her, but.
You have an embosser?
Yeah, an embosser. Yeah. That's really
cool. The embosser
cool.
is cool.
Yeah.
You chose the stamp.
I chose the stamp. Yeah, we had a company reach out and they sent me one for free.
Yeah, it was nice.
And then I got another one from a friend. So I have 2 different designs, which is kind of fun.
That was nice.
Yeah. Did you show that one?
Not yet.
Okay. You want me to show a couple more or what? Because I feel like I've already shown most of mine.
Yeah. Let's see. Carly said something. That's why I buy books, so I can lend them out.
Yeah.
My circle of people all read, so we all share. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. I know. I like being able to do that because if it's a book that I especially love, which is, again, back to Broken Country, I'm very sad that I don't have it to let other people read it because it was just so good. And I have other friends who really, really are stingy about buying books, and I'm not. So I'm kind of like, I'll be the person to buy it.
I think everyone in our circle is like, nobody buys books. And when
right? So they also know, I feel like, that they can borrow them
anytime
from us.
Someone comes over, they're like browsing, like, can I borrow this?
Can I borrow this? Can I borrow this? Yeah. Like, well.
I mean, hopefully.
As long as I get them back.
And we do remember. Trust me. Like,
we don't forget. If it's been a certain amount of time, I don't know what that is in my head, but I will start to like gently, bother people, like poke people about it. Like, excuse me, I'm not planning to read that book again anytime soon, but I'd like it back under my roof where I know it's safe and sound.
Once we lend it out, they have to read it pretty quickly,
Yeah.
or else you're not getting it.
Yeah.
If you're gonna read it someday, you're not getting it till Sunday.
Till when you're actually
Correct.
legit ready to read it.
Those are babies.
Yeah, right. Let's see, the next one I'll talk about, and I did not read this physically, but this was actually a little free library find at one point, and I decided to go the audiobook route. So, but I will keep this because I think that Cory would like it, and then you could probably read it physically if you wanted to. This is called The Life We Bury by Alan Eskins. What's really interesting is when I all of a sudden decided to give it a listen, I was seeing it all over Bookstagram. Like a couple people were posting about it, but this book isn't new. It came out in like 2014.
Wow.
So it's been around for a while, and it's book one in a series. So it's like it's a mystery or mystery thriller. An intelligent and compelling story with characters that will capture you from the start. This debut novel never lets the reader off the edge of the seat, the mark of a great story. Much more than a satisfying, suspenseful novel, the characters are as real as my next door neighbors, the story compelling, and the writing superb. I did think that it was, really good writing. I thought the story was really interesting. I thought it got more interesting even like the further I got into it. And this is a Minnesota author.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it's like a nice like little free library find.
Like the
it's in good
scene
shape.
on the cover.
Yeah.
Very.
So yeah, I would recommend it. I thought
cozy.
it was very good.
Yeah.
But I'd like to keep it around because I feel like it's a book you might like.
Well, we're not gonna get rid of it anyways.
Yeah, we're not gonna get rid of it. Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
So yeah, the Life We Bury. So be interested to
Julianne's
hear.
she's seeing it everywhere too.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's like reviving or something. I don't know. Like people are only finding out about it now, or maybe people are rereading it. I'm not really sure, but I was kind of surprised to see it because it's not a newer book. But
That's cool when that happens.
yeah, and a not local author, but Minnesota isn't too far
A
away
resurgence
from us, so.
of.
And I don't know how many are in this series. I'm not positive. Oh, he's a criminal defense attorney. Well, that kind of makes sense after reading this book too. But then he honed his creative writing skills through the MFA program at Minnesota State University, as well as classes at the Iowa Summer Writing Festival and the Loft Literary Center in Minneapolis. He is a member of the Twin Cities Sisters in Crime. That's cool. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I finished listening to that pretty recently. This was my very first completed book for this month. It feels like forever ago because I have actually read quite a few books this month.
That was your first book, was it?
I marked it as finished like pretty soon into March because I had already been reading it in February and probably January. I don't know when I actually started this book, but it took me way too long to finish it. I think you guys have already heard me talk about this one a lot. I did not like it. So I actually don't know why I still have it. Now that we're talking about moving books along.
We'll keep it.
I don't know. I think I almost need to keep this just out of like because it's funny.
Someone
how much
might want to borrow
it.
that one.
Somebody might want to borrow this just because I didn't like it doesn't mean
Most people,
somebody
a lot
else
of people liked
will
it.
not. And it is actually a really pretty book. I like the look of it. It's like
Where did we get that book?
This was also a little free library find. I'm pretty sure.
We're scoring for the library.
I know, but as we've said before, we do put books in the little free library too. It's rare, but I feel like I've done my dues, like especially at one that's in our neighborhood that we like a lot. I've given lots of books to there, especially children's books. We have moved out a lot of our children's books that we're done with, like that our kids are, aged out of, or just, we have so many that we can share with others.
We just donated Small Game.
Yes.
Someone's going to read that and love it.
Yes. Yep.
Maybe.
Yep.
I hope.
Perhaps. But yes, this was my first, marked as read book for March. And it feels like an eternity ago. Because when I was trying to round up my books, I'm like, did I finish that last month or was that this month?
That was your first
It
book.
was because I had already been reading
Or waste their time. Mandy.
Or waste their time,
Don't tell them.
I'd be that. Don't tell them.
It's like reading the back, it sounds
and it will
excellent.
be your fault.
We didn't stamp that one, did we? No, there's no stamp.
I don't think so.
Maybe we can't stamp all the books.
I know, it's like, man, you never know. Because you might, see, I stamped this one. I got to keep the night circus.
Maybe you can't stamp it till you read it and love it.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Well, I definitely need to stamp Sunrise on the Reaping.
But to be fair, like Small Game, the synopsis makes it sound incredible.
But the
sounds so
description
good.
was not accurate.
It's misleading.
It was misleading.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It sounds great.
It's misleading.
Very misleading.
Yep.
All right, so I finished a book that I felt like I was reading forever too. Probably because I was. But
More like you weren't actively reading it.
Saturday I was off work and it was really gloomy, so I just like sat down and I just finished it up.
Yep.
And it's this book from John Green, Looking for Alaska. Because I don't know, I probably started this in,
I don't know.
maybe it was
while
February.
ago.
I don't know. But I felt like I was reading it forever. It's not a very big book, so it's kind of surprising. I gave it 4 stars. Katie, it was funny, we were talking about it. Katie's like, I was telling Katie, like, it was not bad. And
Mandy said she remembers loving it, but doesn't remember what it was about.
yeah.
That's how I am sometimes too with books, because I feel like I read based on vibes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So Katie asked me, like I thought of it. I was like telling her, like, I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. And then I told her I gave it 4 stars. And she's like, but you said you didn't really like it. And I was like, well, I didn't not like it.
He rates books way too generously, and I feel like I've been judged for that too, but I feel like I've been starting to get better. I'm starting to get pickier and more honest with my reviews.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, because I'm just like, and the book, like, it wasn't a book that you kept wanting to pick up, so I was kind of like, does that really deserve 4 stars? I don't know, but
we'll see. Maybe I'll change it, but I'm a very generous rater. That was our discussion. Like, for me, giving a book 3 stars is like, that means I didn't really like it.
And see, I'm like, a 3-star for me is, I still liked the book, and I would actually recommend it to certain people. Not every person ever. Like, when I read a 5-star book, I like won't shut up about it. And I'm like, everybody needs to read this book. I'm like, I don't care who you are, you need to read it.
I think I gave Small Game 3 stars.
And I would still think that that's kind. I didn't give it any stars because I didn't finish it.
Well,
so clearly I very much disliked it.
You're not allowed to star a book.
And I didn't even
You can't rate a book if you don't finish it. Yeah, so she's the same. Oh. I just feel bad. But
but why?
I told Katie, I'm like, you've read a lot.
I even DNF books and don't feel bad
any
lower
anymore. Makes me feel sad. I must be generous.
You said you must be generous.
Yeah.
And see, I didn't finish that book. I love that you soldiered through, but again, it was like 2 for 2 there for my book club reads.
Yeah.
I didn't even finish them.
That's the thing.
I already finished the in-person one for this month.
Like, I think it's funny when someone rates a book 1 star and they
it's like, that would be a DNF for
and
me,
they
100%.
finished it.
I wouldn't
it's
even...
Like,
no.
Why wouldn't you finish it?
1 star.
And if you're going to finish a book, you got to give at least 2 or 3 stars.
I guess that did happen to me, and it was only one time, and it was for an in-person book club read. I think I told you about this one. We all were just like, what the heck did we just read? It was like one of the worst books I've probably ever read. And I did actually read the whole thing. And that was back when I did feel committed to reading it, because I'm like, I'm the creator of this book club. I have to read it. So I think a ton of us just pushed through. Oh, we talked about it at the last in-person book club, Mandy. It was that red book, and I think you looked it up because you were sitting next to me. It was called The Last Resort, and I don't remember the author's name, but it was horrendous. Like, it was almost like Small Game in the sense that it was like, you read the description. The description was incredibly different from what actually happened in the book.
Yeah, you guys hated that one.
What? Like... Did this not go through any editing whatsoever? And like the fact that it was even allowed to be published was like, I don't know. Like, I don't normally rip apart a book like that, but like it was bad. Don't read it. Just don't. Yeah.
Yeah, Mindy said she gave 1 book 1 star, but we have to know now, Mindy, which book.
Yeah, the Last Resort was the one, for us. And I can't remember. I just don't remember who it's by, but it's a red book, and it's like, it has that like creepy, the creepy vibes of like a like an island, and it looked looked great, but it was not, sadly.
I like it. Yeah, so this book, I can say I like it way more than that for sure. Okay. So this was from John Green. You can't give John Green book Nothing But the Blackened Teeth.
A horror novella.
You gave it 1 star and you finished it.
Okay.
Now I'm curious.
Look it up. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I was reading this book, I mean, I should have known because it's John Green, but I didn't know it was so sad. I didn't know it was a sad book. And I got to the part where it was sad. I can't say too much because I don't want to give it away. But I was like, man, I didn't know this was a sad book. But I'm like, oh, it's John Green. I should have known. But it was a good story. Really a coming of age story. A lot of people on Goodreads were saying that all of John Green's books are very similar. They all have similar storylines.
Yeah.
And I guess I could see that. I've only read this one, and I've seen...
You saw The Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah, Fault in Our Stars.
I've read that, and then that's all I've read by him.
Correct.
So we've each only read one.
We do have a couple of his other books. So
and I have one waiting for us to listen to an audio, which is his brand new nonfiction book called Everything is Tuberculosis. I think is what it's called. So again, a pretty sad theme is what I'm sensing.
I just looked at...
You gave it 4 stars too. Okay.
This one?
This one. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a good story. I thought it was well written, coming of age story. I really liked the characters, but I just didn't realize it was gonna be so sad. And there's a point in the book where they're counting down to something happening, how many days till this happening. And I didn't know what it was gonna be, and then obviously something happened, and then there's a point. The second half of the book is afterwards. So after the event happens, they're talking about,
Yeah.
just dealing with what after what happened. But
Oh yeah, there is a.
yeah,
I
someone
heard
did say
too.
that.
There's a
Someone
show
did
for
say
it.
that. But it was fun. I mean, surprisingly a lot of swearing, underage drinking. I mean, just a fair amount of that kind of stuff.
Huh.
Probably more than I would think for a YA book. But I'm obviously an adult. But I was still a little surprised by it.
All that stuff does happen with the young adults and even
It's
younger,
true.
unfortunately.
It's true. But it was funny. I'm glad I read it. I thought it was good. I would probably recommend it.
Yeah.
That's why I think 4 stars was the right
I probably
rating.
would like to read it. And I do want to read the other ones we have on our shelf too.
Yeah, there was a little bit on the end. There was a little snippet of Turtles All the Way Down at the end. You got to read a couple of chapters. That one sounds pretty good.
Your sister actually gave us that one. She passed that one along to
Yeah.
us.
And I know you want to read An Abundance of
Abundance
Catherines.
of Catherines, seeing as how I'm actually a Catherine, but go by Katie. Your mom got me that one, and then I have Paper Towns. And
Paper Towns.
That one they turned into a movie as well.
Yeah, that's
we've
kind
not
of
seen.
his mystery novel. So they all look pretty good. So I'm very interested in reading more of his books. But I guess for his first book, it was pretty good. It was worth it.
Yeah.
I would check her out.
One about OCD that you want to read.
Yeah, I think that's the
probably
that's the one here. Turtles All the Way Down.
Turtles All the Way Down.
Yeah, it sounds like
I know. Corey was like, that would probably be your jam. Like for me to read that book, because I struggle with OCD and anxiety and all the things.
In the little snippet of it, they didn't really say what disorder she had, but I was thinking OCD, or I was thinking more of like hypochondriac.
Yep, that would be
So
me.
maybe you should read that.
Yeah,
one.
I know, but will it make my symptoms worse, or will I just feel better reading about somebody that obviously struggles with the same things?
It's
Even if
good
it's a
to
fictional
relate
character?
to the main character.
I don't know.
So
Right
here with you.
Kindred spirits. Maybe that's not. Maybe we could be kindred spirits with something else. Something that's not so traumatizing sometimes.
Sure.
But last but not least, I think I'm making sure I'm looking at our table here.
You got your notes.
Is A Love Song for Ricky Wilde by T. Williams. And so I was sitting here judging him for how long it took him to get through Looking for Alaska, but this was actually one that sat for kind of a while too. I was just like working my way through it really, really slowly. But when I first started it, I was like super into it. I was like telling you stuff about it as I was reading it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What happened?
I was very invested. I think what happened was my reread of
Other
The Perfect
books
Marriage. I just I started picking up other things, and that was my bad. Because again, it wasn't that I wasn't interested in it, and then this is one that I ended up giving 4 stars to as well. So I kind of gave you a hard time when I actually gave this one 4 stars when
We's the
you
same.
could have thought that I would give it less because I wasn't like continuously drawn to it. But then when I gave it the time that it deserved, it was like, it's interesting when you put a book down, you take a break and you come back to it and then you knock out the rest of it like pretty quickly. Like, because you're like, oh, I do remember why I liked it. And I think what I struggled with this one, and why I couldn't give it the full 5 stars, is because I think right in the middle there is where it did lose me a little bit. I will say, like, it got almost too slow. I mean, and not that this book is supposed to be fast paced anyway, but I feel like it's like the first part really gripped me. I was super into it. I was like loving the main character right away. It was making me laugh. And then just like, I think like the middle chunk kind of just slowed down. And so I had a hard time getting through that. But then once I did, How to Hide in Plain Sight. Yes.
Oh.
I really, really want to read that one.
Do we have that one?
But we should.
Does Aardvark still have it?
If they do, I definitely want to get it.
Yeah, that was one I remember we were eyeing that one up from Aardvark.
Yeah.
By the way, quick side note.
Oh, this is an Aardvark book too.
Tomorrow is Aardvark Day. Tomorrow we get to pick our books for Aardvark. We're very excited because we each get to pick our 3 books from them, which we do every month, which is amazing. So you should join us in picking some books from Aardvark Book Club. You could,
Mandy, I could see you liking some of their picks, so maybe now would be a good time to try them. You obviously don't have to keep going. You can, I mean, not that we'd ever encourage people to cancel, but you can do that.
You're going to want to keep going. That's the thing.
You can do that.
Once you start, you're in.
So dangerous, right?
Yeah, because you could.
Yeah, no pressure.
You can sign up.
But it is only $4 to pick one of their main picks. You can add a couple more on, and it is free shipping. So that's pretty amazing for a brand new hardcover book.
Yeah, so it's always the first of the month.
Yeah.
Oh, you're planning to try it tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, but she can't remember. She can't use our link.
I know.
Or our code because you're in Canada.
But you should let us know too how much it costs
what you pick
in Canada
and
too.
what it looks like for you on your end.
So we're excited. Tomorrow's Aardvark Day, so we get to pick. We get 6 books a month from them, which is amazing.
Awesome. I don't think we're gonna pick all of the main choices this time though. We did for March, and I'm very happy we did that. Like all the ones.
Yeah.
Let me know. We always have our code like in the description of our videos.
But yeah, $4 is a great deal.
Yeah, I mean, really. And if you're like not super impressed, then you only spent $4 and you can cancel if you want. But otherwise, we think the price is really reasonable even after that per month. Especially if you only get one book.
$4 and then $9.99 add-on. You can add 2 books on.
You can always add up to 2 books.
So that's 3 books for $24 for your first box. But we're excited. Tomorrow's the day. It's a fun day for us. There are 2 books from previous months that I'm interested in.
Yeah, and I'm planning on getting, so this is kind of fun. They do this sometimes, and they let you know ahead of time, I think, just so that people can plan. Especially if they want you to get the book from them, they will do that too, which is very smart. So yeah, because I think one of them is like already out, maybe? I could be wrong. So it's like kind of some of those ones that are like right on the cusp. They like come out, like if it like is a mid-March release, but they're not going to have it until like April or something like that. They'll like tease something earlier, so then people will actually know before the first, then like at least 1 or 2 of the books or something. So what they're doing is, and I'm blanking on the author right now, but the book is called The Tainted Cup, and I was like super devastated that I waited on that one because then it went out of stock with them and I couldn't get it. I think it's fantasy. And it's got like a really cool cover. So sometimes they will bring books back and normally have it be a special edition of some kind. And so that's what they did with The Reformatory. That's another book that was the one I was referring to earlier. I really need to read that book finally because they did like a gorgeous different edition of it, and it's signed. Or no, I didn't get the signed one. I didn't get on soon enough to get it signed, but I still got the pretty edition. And so they are doing that with a book that went out of stock a long time ago, and they're bringing it back. And not only are they doing that, there's a sequel, and they're gonna have both. So I've already decided I'm getting those. That's already 2 out of like the 3 that I can put in my box. But of course he'll get 3 as well. And there are books collectively, so it'll be interesting to see what else they. Yeah. Like, because a lot of people go and do their guesses.
Oh, you got the special edition.
Oh, you got the nice special edition too.
It's an awesome copy.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, because it has the same dust jacket, but the actual book is like an ombre, like I don't know how to describe it.
And it's got the etching on the cover.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Nice.
So with these other books that I'm talking about right now, they're going to, I think the dust jacket will be the same, like normal, but then the like naked cover is like going to be a gorgeous like foil cover. Yeah. So yeah, I'm very excited for those.
8 o'clock, right?
Let's see. No. Well, it's 7 o'clock our time.
Yeah.
7 o'clock Central Time. I think what they say is like 8 o'clock Eastern Time.
Yeah.
So that's like kind of the time they go off of, but it's always 7 o'clock for us.
I'm gonna have
He's gonna
to
be
pick,
leaving for work.
I'm gonna have to pick after work. So.
But I'll be picking right when I am like
the last 2 months.
awake.
It's come on a Saturday, right?
Yeah,
or a Sunday.
I feel like something like that.
So I've been able to pick, but tomorrow I'll be working,
yeah,
so
he'll have to wait till
I'll have to pick after work. So, and my box always comes a couple days later for some reason.
Oh, 5 o'clock.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
Lucky duck.
5 a.m. Just kidding.
Check it out.
Realize that. Okay, so you're 2 hours earlier than us then. Okay. Yeah,
that's cool. So
yeah, that'll be exciting. So I already know like the 2, and then I'll just have to fill the 3rd slot with.
So there's a good chance we'll be able to hopefully we'll be able to show them next Monday. Maybe we will see.
We'll see.
Their shipping is takes a couple days.
Yeah, it's not as quick as Book of the Month, but I've never minded because we always have tons of books to keep us company in the meantime. So it's not like we ever have a shortage of books around here.
No, we don't. Okay. All right. So that's tomorrow. So we're excited for that. But it's time to play. Guess that book. I got 3 books lined up for tonight. Everyone knows I'm going to read the Goodreads synopsis of the book, and you guys are going to guess the title and the author. What do you think?
Okay, let's do it.
One of the books is a book that you have read.
Oh.
And you like.
Okay, I thought you were doing ones that I haven't read.
I know, but
okay, well,
just because you've read it doesn't mean they have read it.
All right, so I'm gonna give all y'all like a decent amount of time to guess because I think I jumped on one last week.
Yeah, you got to stop that.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That was rude.
That was rude.
All right, you ready to play Guess That Book? All right, so you're gonna get it right away, but
okay. Well, I'm gonna give other people an opportunity before I say.
All right. 2 best friends, 10 summer trips, one last chance to fall in love. Poppy and Alex, Alex and Poppy. They have nothing in common. She's a wild child, he wears khakis. She has insatiable wanderlust. He prefers to stay home with a book. Do you know yet?
I think I do.
And somehow, ever since a fateful car...
It's orange.
You're right.
I think you're right.
Color does not count, though, for this game. All right, where was I? And somehow, ever since a fateful rideshare, home with college many years ago, they are the very best of friends. For most of the year, they live far apart. She's in New York City, and he's in their small hometown. But every summer for a decade, they have taken one glorious week of vacation together.
Am I allowed to guess now?
We'll give them a chance.
Okay. Does anyone know?
It is orange, though. You're right.
You're right, Mandy. Good job.
Poppy and Alex. Until 2 years ago when they ruined everything. They haven't spoken since. People we meet on vacation by, who's the author? One of
my favorite authors ever.
I had to go look on my shelf. You have it then. That's good.
So the author is... There we go. She got
Emily Henry. Okay. Yes, nice. Yeah. I want to throw that one in there. Because...
Yeah, I think that's going to be her very first movie adaptation.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, you're reading that this month.
You're reading it this month.
It's
there
good.
You go.
It is honestly my least favorite M. Hen book, but that's not saying much because, like I said, I've not read any of her books that I disliked. So it just it ranks the lowest for me with M. Hen, but I did really, really like it. I'm actually surprised that it's that ranking for me because it is a friends to lovers romance, and that's my favorite trope.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know. I just didn't like it as much as her other books.
Correct.
But very good. It's
All
worth
right.
reading.
Ready for number 2?
Okay, let's do it.
This one I've not read. Okay. We don't even own this book, so. This is one that's on my radar, though.
Okay.
So just keep it in mind.
Okay.
All right. A fresh and provocative story about a residential assistant and her messy entanglement with a professor and 3 unruly students. It's 2017 at the University of Arkansas. Millie Cousins, a senior resident assistant, wants to graduate, get a job, and buy a house. So when Agatha Paul, a visiting professor and writer, offers Millie an easy yet unusual opportunity, she jumps at the chance. But Millie's starry-eyed hustle becomes jeopardized by odd new friends, vengeful dorm pranks, and illicit intrigue. A fresh and intimate portrait of desire, consumption, and reckless abandon.
Does anybody know?
I know.
I don't think I know.
This one's green. The cover's green. This is actually a book that is on my radar from the past for Aardvark that I could add on.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think I do know this one. I don't know if anybody else will. Any other Aardvarkians out there?
Well, it's not just for Aardvark. I see this book at all the bookstores.
I know, but that would remember it, like, from past months when he was
There is a pig on the cover, too.
Oh, here, I thought you were talking about a different one. But now I know which one you're talking about.
Okay, give a second. Give a second.
And then she has another one that, no. I think the one you just described came after a different one that's called, like, Such a Fun Age. But this one's called Come and Get It.
Come and Get It by...
Julie said she had no idea.
Come and Get It by Kylie Reed. Yeah, this is a book that I just see everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think if I need to get it from Aardvark, I maybe would add it on tomorrow. Because even just reading the synopsis again, I'm very interested back. Okay. I'm back interested. Okay. But it is a green cover with a pig on the cover. So I don't know. I feel like maybe a lot of people have maybe not read that book.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I feel like every time I go to the bookstore, I see it.
Yeah.
It's just like always staring at me.
What is the average rating on Goodreads?
It's 3.35, which is not great.
No. But yet you see it all over the place.
A lot of 3 stars. Come and Get It is a tension-filled story about money, indiscretion, and bad behavior. I mean, those are all my things.
Okay.
So
maybe just not the things of the people who have read it so far.
I'm an unusual person. I mean, 3 stars for me. That's horrible.
I know. So I don't know.
That sounds like a 5-star for me. All right. Another Aardvark book, another Aardvark title. We do own this one. Okay. And this is one that I should have read already, but... All right.
Now I'm going to be staring at our shelf. Read it.
A forbidden affair erupts dramatically amid a decadent Hawaiian wedding in this hilarious, sophisticated, and thrillingly plotted story of love, money, murder, sex, and the lies we tell about them all.
I already know what it is.
I'll keep going.
2 of the words you said were basically in the title.
Rufus Long Gresham, future Earl of Greshambury and son of former Hong Kong supermodel, has a problem. His family fortune, the legendary Gresham Trust, has been depleted by decades of profligate spending. Was that a word?
I don't know.
While magazine covers and Instagram stories display impeccably designed manners and shiny new yachts, the secret reality holds nothing more than a gargantuan mountain of debt.
Does anyone else know? I would have gotten it eventually without cheating and looking at the bookshelf. So
how could you?
Oh, Mindy.
Lies and Weddings. No, Weddings and Lies. Nice job.
Lies and Weddings.
Yeah, nice job. I'm very interested in this book. Yes, that is one I need to add into my reading list for the year.
Yeah, for soon, as in actually soon.
I mean, we got that one from Aardvark probably 6 months ago.
Probably like last summer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
one of
those books that I gravitate towards a lot when I'm staring at our bookshelf, which I do.
It's a very pretty book.
Pretty much daily.
Yeah.
Just kind of stare at it.
Yep.
I'm gonna do a reel about that soon. How I pick my next read, and it just involves me staring.
Just stare.
What genre is it?
Oh gosh, I wouldn't even know what to call that. Just contemporary fiction?
Probably. Family
like general
drama.
Fiction, contemporary fiction mostly.
I don't know if it has any thriller mystery to it.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
Contemporary
but
fiction.
But it still wouldn't fall. Yeah, it wouldn't be a thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably general fiction or
books that I enjoy involve family drama, money themes, and rich people doing dumb things.
Stares until they jump out.
Yes. Yeah, I've done a couple reels about it, but I had a new idea where I'm putting an inside look of how I pick my book, and it just involves me staring at the bookshelf, like for literally a long time, from anywhere from 1 minute to 16 days. You know, so stay tuned for that reel. It's coming soon to it. Social media near you.
Social media.
But yeah. So thanks for playing. That was fun. I'm having a hard time actually picking those books for Guess That Book because it's kind of hard to pick them.
Yeah. I could pick some at some point. Then you have to guess.
You very well could.
I don't know. That would be hard with all of the books that you could possibly pick.
You guys are so good. I go on Goodreads and I look at like the highly rated books or most popular books of the year.
Or just ones that you wanted to do, right? Because you just like randomly
or books that I like, yes.
Threw in the M. Hen book. Emily Henry.
That actually did come up on one of the lists.
Okay. Well, that's not surprising.
Like notable books on Goodreads or...
And a note, by the way, for any other Emily Henry fans out there. So, of course, I'm all about Abby's book tomorrow. But Emily Henry's comes out kind of more towards the end of the month. So that'll be another one where I just I'll go buy it on the day that it comes out. I have not pre-ordered that one. But something interesting that I didn't necessarily know until somebody made a post about like all of her books. And I was reading it last night or the night before, I don't remember. And it's not making me want to read it any less, but I do just want to tell you, if you like all of her books that are very much a rom-com, you've never read her. Oh, she's so good. And I have all of her books. So speaking of lending books, unless you want to buy them, go for it. I'm not going to, tell you not to buy anything, but I have all of them. If you would like to start with whatever one, let me know. If we see each other tomorrow, I'm happy to loan you one of them. But yeah, all of her books except Happy Place. Oh yeah, Sally, you're starting one this month.
Right.
Are you reading Book Lovers? I feel like.
Oh, you have.
Oh, you
some.
do have
you
some. You just have not read them yet. Okay, that's another reel we're gonna, I think, do sometime soon too. Is talking about all the books that we've. I mean, not all, but like
we're gonna
make it look like we are showing literally all the books that we have in our possession that we've not read.
We're gonna finally count.
Yeah, we do need to find
Book Lovers. Yeah, we're gonna finally count how many books we have that we haven't read. We have yet to count because I'm a little scared.
Because we did do a thing where people were guessing. I think on a reel
how many
books total we have in our house, including children's books. You read Book Lovers too. Yes, I loved that one by Emily Henry. Yeah, so we want to count specifically. However, that number is going to be different for both of us.
Well, it's how many books that neither of us have read.
Yes,
that's really
we'll count the ones where it's like neither one of us. You want to read Jodi Picoult's new one first?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I have not read it, and I have a few Jodi Picoult books. She's great. I used to read her a lot, actually. I feel like a signed copy. That's amazing. Yeah, that's the one that it's like very like floral and blue, right? Remind me the name of it because now I'm blanking on it. I don't have that one. Yeah, I used to read primarily her and Nicholas Sparks. Like I have definitely branched out since then, but those were like my two favorite authors for a long time. I don't remember what you were saying before about the books. Yes, it'll be like books that neither of us have read.
By any other name.
By any other name. Okay. Yeah, I've not read it yet. I don't have that one. It's a very pretty book though. So the thing I was going to say about Emily Henry though, and then we will sign off for the night, is her newest one is actually considered women's fiction. So it's not even considered a rom-com. It's like with a side of romance in this one. So it's clearly not focused on the romance.
What's it called?
It's called Great Big Beautiful Life.
Yes.
Big Beautiful Life. Kind of a long title. But all of her books, except for now this new one that has yet to be published, and Happy Place, all of them are rom-coms. You're thinking of
Jojo
Moyes. Her new one. Yes, and that one actually looks really, really good. I do have that one on my TBR, and I'm blanking on the title too, but I love even just the cover alone for that one. But yeah, so all of Emily Henry's books besides Happy Place and now this new one are like, very focused on the romance and everything. But yeah, I think that was actually a reason that some people didn't like Happy Place, because it was very like friend, found family focused. It still had the romance, but it certainly wasn't like 100% focused on that. But I actually loved that. Like, I think sometimes it's nice to have a change in pace where there's still the romance aspect, but it isn't 100% focused on it. Like, sometimes I think that's a breath of fresh air, and some people are like, but I was expecting something different. So I do get that could be kind of a letdown. So I just want to forewarn you, in case you're expecting another one of her, like, strictly, it's like totally a rom-com. It's not totally focused on that.
Correct.
So, but I'm excited to read it. We're gonna see what happens though after reading Funny Story, because I don't know if she can outdo herself after that book, because her one from last year is my favorite.
Never.
We'll see. I'm very excited. But yeah, I think that's all we got for tonight.
Yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that like button if you haven't hit the like.
Yeah.
It for some reason helps a lot.
Okay.
So hit the like button.
Tell your friends to watch,
Tell your friends.
Yeah, because we have a good time. Does it follow the? No, it does not. It's a new story, new character. I do know that about that one. So
good.
Yeah, but we will talk to you next time. We'll film our beer and books next, and that one you guys can watch later, not live. Then join us again for next Monday Live.
Thanks for watching. Check out Art of Arc tomorrow. You'll love it. Bye-bye.